All right, so we're going to be reacting to this video that I saw on Twitter from Ripperverse Goalposts. Okay. I follow Ripperverse Goalposts because this is honestly the only way that I can even remotely keep up with all of the fandom drama. Right. So, like, Ripperverse Goalposts covers a lot of the obviously the Eric July Comicsgate kind of debacles that are going on. I try hard to keep up with it, but it's really hard, man. I don't watch these people's videos. I don't have time, unfortunately, but I do find the drama to be pretty funny and interesting sometimes. So I like following this account to see what they post every now and then. Now, this particular video caught my attention because obviously it has an interesting title: Breaking Actual Fandom Contemplates Quitting YouTube. And so when I saw this headline, I was like, there's no way. There's no way he's going to quit YouTube. This guy needs the attention. He wants to feel like he's owning the CHUDS. He wants to feel like he's doing something. But, the truth of the matter is you can only shill for so long with no benefit to it, right? So the reason why Actual Fandom exists, or channels like Actual Fandom, at least from what I can see anyway, is that they're trying to bite at the ankles of YouTubers that actually made it while trying to profess that they're somehow better fandom, right? So they're somehow better fandom because they accept all the woke shit that's happening. They're somehow better fandom because they don't look at negativity. They focus on positivity, blah, 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 whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like they try to make it seem as if they are genuine. You know what I mean? It's like male feminists, right? Male feminists will be out here trying to pretend like they give a fuck about women's rights and women's issues when they just want to fuck you the same as the asshole does. It's literally all the same. So they try to pretend to be better, right? When at the end of the day, you could just literally be part of the community. Nobody says you got to talk negative about things. You could talk positively about comics, right? Why don't you talk positively about? Why do you focus your content talking negatively about YouTubers who talk about things negatively, according to you, right? It's just an interesting question that I have that I'm sure I'll never get an answer to, at least not face to face anyway. But regardless, we got this video and it's about 2 minutes long. So let's react to this and see what Dane, Actual Fandom, has to say. Here we go.
Maybe I just need to fucking quit this shit, Ian. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I just need to fucking quit this content. I don't know. There's very little reward in this. The reward that I look for is, and look, Matt Jarbo, my mental health is.
What reward do you look for? I wonder what he's talking about.
Doing fine, man. Like, it's just when this shit comes up that really fucking pisses me off. It's not my mental health that's the problem. It's the fact that there's not a whole lot of reward generally, right? Fuck all these people, man. Fuck them all.
Wow. You know what? I mean, I got to do it. I got to do it, right? Chat. I got to do it. I'm sorry. I know we're only 37 seconds in, but this is so much coping and seething. I literally can hear it. I can hear it deep in his. I got to do it. I'm sorry.
You are coping and seething.
Damn, this is rough to hear a grown ass man say these things. You know what I mean? It really is. I'm curious to know, what does he mean by reward? Let's see if he says it.
I mean, look, the fact is, man, I could quit right now and I'd be pretty fucking satisfied with what I've done. I think that we've had an effect.
Oh, here comes a lie.
Just since the initiative have come together, we've seen, as the kids say, a vibe shift in terms of like how many people are willing to speak out against this shit. We've seen all of the YouTube channels, all the CHUDS have lost influence and lost views and lost, everything's gone down except for two guys, Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic. They've continued to rise while everybody around them have fucking stagnated or just straight up started to suffer. I'm not saying that we are responsible for that.
Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker. Everybody else around them has stagnated, lost influence, or suffered. Okay. So Let's go. This is 28 days, right? How long has actual Fandom been out, by the way? Actual Fandom has been doing YouTube longer than I have been, I believe, right? So let's just go, I don't know. Let's go, where do you want to go? You want to go 365 days? You want to go 365 days, chat? Let's just go 365 days. You want to do that for the last year? Let's do year. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's, yeah. No, you're definitely, yeah, wow. No, it's wow. Yeah, oh, that's a big one. Wow. Yeah, no, you definitely are stopping everybody except for Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker. Yep. Yep. What about Lifetime? Let's see. Oh, gee. Oh, there's another one. Oh, gee. Damn, chat. Yo, look at this. It's crazy how looking at I look at these numbers every now and then to remind myself, because you know what? It's very important to do that, right? On September 13th of 2021, I had 5 subscribers, guys. 5 in September 13th of 2021. Wow. Holy shit, bro. And I was my own biggest fan from September 13th all the way to let's say July 21st of the next year. I was my own biggest fan from that for that entire period, bro. Look at that. A year, almost a year. Not even a year, maybe 8 months. 8 months of grind. And then eventually, like, you know, I got a little traction here and there. And then, I mean, at that point, it is what it is. But yeah, so that comment, let me bring this video back. That comment it's just a straight up lie, right? It's a straight up lie. It's coping and seething to the max, right? It's somebody who has just like illusions of grandeur, right? This guy thinks that he is doing more than he actually is doing. He's not doing fucking anything, all right? Because if he was doing something, let it be known, he would not be quitting YouTube, right? If he was doing something, let's be real, he would have a lot more support. He wouldn't be complaining about, oh, there's no reward in this. I still don't know what he means by reward, but let's find out. Let's continue.
They've continued to rise while everybody around them have fucking stagnated or just straight up started to suffer.
Factually incorrect.
I'm not saying that we are responsible for that, you know, in isolation. That's not what I'm saying. But I think we've been part of contributing toward an environment on YouTube that tells people that it's okay and it's good to push back against this stuff. Because one of the main things that we did was we started pushing back immediately against the idea that, like, a lot of people held the position that if you just don't talk about them, they'll go away. And that was very clearly not the case. You know, not talking about it it's good for them. They need to be talked about. But yeah, I could be done right now and I'd be fine.
So, okay, so I don't get the answer and I don't feel like going to watch his video. I got to imagine that by reward, he means monetary gain, right? No, actual Fandom. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of money involved with lying to your fans and being a shill. No, there isn't. There isn't a lot of money involved. That's just the truth of it, right? Especially if you want to do YouTube. There's a lot of media access that you could potentially gain from shilling for the mainstream. But you know what's hilarious, man? You don't actually have to shill for the mainstream, right? Like you don't have to shill for the mainstream in order to get mainstream access. You know, there are some mainstream outlets that would be willing to have conversations with you so long as you are reasonable, semi-reasonable, right? I am deemed not reasonable because I guess I am too extreme, and I am perfectly A-okay with that because I'm not looking for mainstream access, right? But like my boy Gooch, for example, Gooch got Bo DeMaio on his stream multiple times, right? He got DeMaio on his stream, and he doesn't shill for the mainstream at all. The guy just got DeMaio on his stream because he was doing what he always does, which is talking about animations that he likes. And he happened to be talking about X-Men 97, had a couple of conversations, and he managed to do that, right? So it's the false perception that you have to be a consumer kind of a thing, right? Like an absolute shill in order to get any kind of mainstream access. And that's not how that works, right? That's not how any of this works. At some point, you might have to self-reflect, right? Because I think what it is that people like actual fandom have this idea of what we're like, right? They have this idea of what I'm like. They have this idea of what Gooch is like. They have this idea of what Nerdrotic is like, what Critical Drinker is like, what Geeks and Gamers is like. They have this idea of what they're like as people simply because they disagree with their content. And that's the biggest fuck up that you could possibly have, right? Because then what ends up happening is you put yourself in a bubble where now you're trying to make it seem as if you're more virtuous, right? You're trying to make it seem as if everybody else is a grifter, everybody else is a bigot, everybody else is this. But at the end of the day, bro, if you're doing this for monetary gain and trying to tell people that you're not, right? Because you say this all the time, right? I see so many clips of this where you're trying to, you don't do this for money. None of you guys do this for money. I think I saw Eric say something along the lines of like, oh, I'm trying to disrupt the algorithm of CHUDS, right? So you're trying to get into our algorithm by using titles, thumbnails, and whatnot that are similar to us, but you're trying to push a different message and you're wondering why your channels aren't growing. Make that shit make sense, right? Because what happens is that you are literally, by definition, essentially clickbaiting, right? We all clickbait at the end of the day. Don't get me wrong. It's YouTube, but you are by definition doing so by trying to get into what you would deem our algorithm by trying to look like us, essentially, right? In title, thumbnail, and everything. But you're never going to be that. Like, you're never actually going to be that. Maybe you would grow if you were focusing more on being yourselves, right? I think maybe if you let your personality shine through, perhaps you can grow a little bit, right? But unfortunately, you're so focused on hating everybody else. You're so focused on being envious of everybody else because that's where this really comes from. All right. The fact that you said, oh, I'm going to quit. There's no reward in this. So you're doing this for a reward then. You decided to break into this for a reward. That's what you're doing this for. I thought you were passionate. I thought you were the actual fandom. So to me, that sounds like you were just doing this for monetary gain. And you realize there is no monetary gain to be had. So now you want to quit. You know that by definition is grifting, right? You're essentially trying to con people and trying to swindle them out of money. What are we doing? I think you should focus on showcasing your personality to your fans. Perhaps you can get a little bit of a connection with people, right? You don't have to show your face to do it. I think I'm living proof of that. People like Yellow Flash is living proof of that. But I think if you start focusing on showcasing your personality to fans instead of making every single video and stream about how much you are envious over every other YouTuber, yeah, people don't really want to watch that shit. To be honest with you, people can see the envy through and through. They can sniff it from miles away.